Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to my studio. This is Nathifa, and today I am going to be playing with Tim Holtz's new alcohol neons. I'm so excited about this because I love me a good neon. Like, I really love a neon color, and I'm excited to play with these. So we're going to play with those. I also am playing with some Yupo paper. These are 5x7 sheets. For using with alcohol inks. And then this is the black ink cardstock. I have always wanted to use this one and I've never played with it before. So today I get to play with it. It is super matte and just stunning. So let's see what we can create with that. And then I'm going to be using some blending solutions. And I'm just going to be playing with a bunch of stuff. So we'll just see what I create. All right, let's jump in and see what we can do. All right, let's do that. So I'm also using Bold Botanicals stamp set from Stampers Anonymous and Tim Holtz. And I'm going to grab my black paper and I'm going to put some ink down. So I initially started this entire process just sort of experimenting to see what it was going to look like. And so I wanted to kind of just give you an idea of what I'm doing. I'm using acetate as my surface. You can't see it because it's clear, and I'm putting my inks on there and I'm kind of swirling it around and putting some blending solution in there. And then I'm stamping my stamp into the ink and I'm putting it on to the paper. Then I decided I wanted to just add some color. So I'm using the variety of different stamps to kind of go through and just stamp along and just see what I get. I keep adding colors to it to kind of just get this gradation or gradient of colors that I want to test out. And the nice thing about this is that when you first stamp it, it doesn't look like it's doing anything, but when it dries, it's really when you get to see the full effect of it. So I just kind of went through and just switched out all of the different colors that I wanted to test out. Mixing colors that kind of went together so I wouldn't get mud. So like blue and pinks, purples, and just sort of adding more blending solution to make it wet enough for the stamp to have something to kind of like, grab onto. So I'm just, again, testing out all of the different varieties here of stamps and color combinations really to see what I like and see which one is going to come out the best. So that's what you see me doing here. And so I would encourage you to just try and see what you love. I did some on white paper as well, just to kind of see what it was like. And obviously I love the way it looked on the black paper, but for this one, I just, again, it was just trying a variety of different things to really get an idea of what it was going to look like. And I love the way it looked on the black paper. So that's kind of what I ended up going with. But I wanted to show you the whole entire process of how I did this so that you could see how the whole entire thing kind of happened. So that's what you see me doing here. I also used my word stamps, like my phrases stamps, and I just stamped into the ink and kind of did it on the black paper as well. So it does work. And I would encourage you not to do a whole lot of like just shenanigans, just kind of stamp really simply. Then I went through and I cut out all of my images that I liked that I was going to put on the front of my card. And you can still play around here with it and see, like if a phrase didn't come out the way you wanted it to, you can always add more ink and blending solution. I think the trick here is to use your blending solution well. That's what I think really made it kind of stand out and mix really well, which is the entire purpose of it. So that's what you see me doing here, just sort of like starting to put my cards together. I'm trying to make sure they will work together. And so I'm cutting these out again, and I'm going to use these as the front of my cards. And you can see how vibrant they came out. I'm telling you, the video is not doing this justice. They are super vibrant when you actually see it in person. So if it's something you really love, I would encourage you to go for it. But that's kind of what you see me doing here. I'm making sure that the images really do kind of come out. And I am starting to see like there are the black areas I need to work on and kind of make it stand out some more. But I just really wanted to keep trying. I just kept playing because it was so much fun. So I'm going to just let you see me play here because it really and truly was a lot of fun for me to do this. And so I think I used almost the entire pack of paper just trying to to do something. So and really trying to get the colors that I was trying to get. So that's what you see me doing here. So now I went back in here and I started trying to add some details with my black Posca pen. And I would encourage you, so look on the back of your stamp, especially if you're using these florals, the bold botanical ones, and see where you can kind of define more. So I'm looking on the stamp and seeing where there's a lot of black, and I'm going back in there with my Posca marker and my finger to add some black and kind of blend it out so that there's more definition to my florals. And so that's kind of how I got all of that. But if you just use your finger, you can really like smudge out some of those, some of the ink. It works that way. So I like that. Decided to cut it out, and that was going to be the front of mine. So I have a few of the ones that I wanted to do, and I went back in here and did the same thing for this black, or for this this other floral. I'm just smudging out the extra ink around the floral so that it looks like the actual image on the back of the stamp. So you can use a charcoal pencil, you can use your Posca pens. I found that the Posca pens worked well, but when you put it on there, make sure you smudge it immediately so that it doesn't like just end up being this like just weird bunch of scratch marks. You want to blend it into your paper, and it's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be exactly matte, but I think it adds to the entire image and makes it look really beautiful. Okay. All right. So we have our three or more that we're going to do. And now I'm going to shift over to trying to see what it looks like on the card. And I really love it. So I'm starting to cut out my little phrases that I'm going to use on the bottom of the card here. I love that. I love how it looks. So I decided that I wanted some sort of background because it was just looking kind of bare and bland and not very juicy enough for me. So I went back in there with the stencil, and I stenciled just some Archival ink from Ranger and black soot. And I just added a background with my stencil. And that just, I think, took it to a next level for it to be even more beautiful than, or a great background for those images to sit on. So I'm just testing to see if I like all of these the way if they're going to look really nice on this like theme background or whatever. I love that one, so I decided to glue it down, and I'm going to glue down the sentiment here as well. And I'm just eyeballing this, y'all, to make sure it's centered. So if you're more particular, it's okay. Go ahead and do that. And I'm going to go back through here and do the rest of these with different stencils and etc. So I'm letting you see that I went through a variety of stencils, and I decided I didn't like the one that I was using for this next one. I wanted some polka dots, so I went back in and grabbed a larger stencil. And I love the way this background turned out with those little polka dots. I love polka dots, and I glued that one down. Added my sentiment to it as well to kind of finish this card off. And you all know by now that I love me a hot glue gun, so that's all I used here. And then I went back through and I was trying to find some additional stencils that I wanted to use. And so you can try and see which ones you like the best. I want to do stars for this one. I love the stencil. And I flipped it over to kind of just carry on the motif. And then I went back in there and I cut down my sentiment. And I am going to, I have to try again because it was not, I think I found one that I liked that I had done before. So again, I tried a lot of like different sentiments to make sure the words came out. So you saw me there. I was looking to see if I needed to redo it, but I didn't. So I kind of just went through and worked on or used a sentiment that I already stamped before that worked. So again, you have to be very, very gentle when you're stamping on your black paper for this. So did that one as well. And then I'm inking around the card to just sort of make it look like it's, you know, it's finished, and that was intentional. And those are our cards, y'all. I'm looking for something to kind of make sure this stays together because it's, you know, it's craft cardstock. So I found these little clips from Tim Holtz that was in my stash, and I just went through and did that. Now, again, this is what I was talking about earlier, going back in there and just making sure you can actually see the image here. So I'm going back in and looking for all the black spots and trying to make sure that those are black so that the image really will stand out and you can tell what it is. Because this stamp is kind of, I think it's kind of like if you aren't using black, it's kind of weird. And so I went back in there and just using the stamp as my image and kind of what I was comparing it to, I kind of went back in there and just added some additional black to certain spots to make sure that it actually stood out and matched the image. So my reference photo-ish would be my stamp. And so that's what you see me doing here. So afterwards, this is what we have, y'all. These are all of our cards. Super simple to do and that's super fun to do. Let me tell you, it was a lot of fun. I can see myself doing this a lot, and I want to try different stamps to see how it comes out. But I had a lot of fun doing these, and I hope you will try it. Mix the colors and just see what you get. Try different stamps. I love the florals, and I think it really highlights the neons, the alcohol ink neons. They're a lot of fun to use. And again, the video is not doing these colors any justice. They're super vibrant and just a lot of fun and bright. So use the black paper, see what you get. You can also use the white paper and see what you get. But thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this. And if you have any questions, as always, let me know.